My sister's husband tried to get with me. My sister's husband tried to get with me. Repost. Hi. This is my first post. Sorry, it's a long read. This is something that's been ongoing for over 4 years and I am at my wit's end with the entire situation. My sister and her now husband are 7 years older than me. They started dating when I was about 14, making both of them 21. I am very shy and reserved, so I usually don't take to new people well, so it was surprising when I first met sister's now husband and we hit it off great. Over the years he became like a brother to me and the three of us would often go out to dinner, movies, trips out of town. We spent a lot of time together. Even when they had a short breakup, he would make an effort to come see me to get dinner or whatever. During this time I got my first boyfriend, who was always very put off by my sister's now husband. Let's call him A for the sake of this story. I questioned why and my boyfriend told me he got a feeling that A was into me. I thought he was crazy because this man is like another brother to me. I brushed it off and things continued as normal. A couple years later my sister and A got engaged and I was so happy to officially have him as part of the family. I was so excited for them. At this point I was about 19 and was pretty new to the whole dating thing and got around quite a bit. I went through boyfriends pretty fast and was defeated seeking male validation after things went horribly sideways with my first boyfriend. I eventually met someone I really liked and literally thought he was the man of my dreams. Well, that all went to shit with what happened next. I went to my sister and A's house to hang out with them one night. This was in 2019 when I was 20 years old. As soon as I got there they had already been drinking and offered me some, so I joined in. The night was going really well. We were talking about our jobs and I recommended my sister come work at my job since they take care of their employees really well. She asked me to put a good word in with my boss and I told her I would. We played a drinking card game and some Mario Kart and that's when I blacked out. The next thing I remember was waking up on their couch and I felt so sick. It was probably around 2 a.m. at this point. I made my way to the one bathroom they had at their house to try and get everything out. But no luck. I was sitting next to the toilet when A walked in and apologized as he thought nobody was in there. I told him it was okay, I just wasn't feeling well. He responded by saying he hadn't realized I had drank that much, which I thought was odd as he had been making my drinks all night, vodka lemonades. He sat down next to me and started rubbing my back, which I didn't think anything of because I would expect my actual blood brothers to do the same. But it got weird when he slipped his hand up the back of my shirt and started rubbing my back that way. I looked up at him and he kissed me. I immediately stopped him and asked him what he was doing. And then he started vomiting that he always had feelings for me and these are not feelings that will go away. I asked him what went wrong in his relationship that made him act this way and he said his relationship has never been better. The strangest thing was when he said, "It sounds strange now, but I've always considered you like a sister and I've wanted to have an intimate relationship with you since you were 16. I never really expect this from him. He is my brother." The next thing that happened was he pulled down his pants and kissed me again. I pulled away and could hear my sister outside the bathroom. So I walked out and he followed. She didn't even question anything. I was shocked and laid back on the couch. She asked him to go back to bed and he said he needed to deal with the dog. Then he came back to me and told me to go out with him. I asked why? And he said, "So we can be intimate." I told him I didn't do that and his fiancée was waiting for him in the other room. He actually made fun of me and eventually left me alone. I left the next morning and that was the last time I ever saw either of them. I talked to my oldest brother, let's call him M, a few days later to tell him what had happened and what I should do about it. We came up with a plan to get together with our sister and tell her 2 days later. But the next day while I'm at work he calls me and says our sister is on her way to his house ATM and he's going to tell her. I obviously couldn't up and leave my job to join in, so he did it without me, which now looking back was a huge mistake. After he told her, she asked him to tell me to not reach out to her and that she'll talk to me whenever she's ready. I respect that because I understand this is a shocking thing to try and process. She stayed with my brother for about 2 weeks and then went back home today. I later found out that A blamed it all on me. That I made a move on him and that he froze up when it happened, which is so far from the truth. Something I haven't mentioned is that I, and many other people that know my sister, believe her to be a narcissist. She literally thinks she is a goddess and that she can never do anything wrong. She cut our mom out of her life for reasons unknown to any of us. After this all happens, my sister has continuously told people that I am the reason this happened. Told our dad I'm a whore. And tried to justify why I did this with the fact that I used to date around a lot. My sister and A did end up getting married and still to this day believes that I instigated this entire thing. She makes up lies about me saying that I told her I could take him from her if I wanted to, and that I would body shame her all the time when I have never said anything of the sort. 4 years later and she refuses to come to family holidays and I feel it's tearing our family apart. She complains that I never apologized to her, but when I've tried to reach out she says she's not ready yet. I know her and I will likely never be sisters again, but I would like to be civil for the sake of our family. Comment: stay far away from your sister and her husband. It sounds like he drugged you and was probably going to rape you. If that's true, he's a criminal, and he belongs in jail. Predators usually aren't one and done, so most likely he'll do this again. Don't apologize to anyone, as you have nothing to apologize for. Keep yourself safe. Don't get manipulated by anyone. Your first and most important allegiance is to yourself. Stay away from your sister. If she wants words, tell her fuck you and your lies. It is not my fault. Your husband probably drugged my drinks and then tried to get with me after telling me he has wanted to fuck me since I was 16. You are welcome that I rejected him. Don't blame me for you being with a dishonest cheater of a man. Your sister is a narcissist. Her husband tried to have sex with you. The best thing is to stay away from them. So it is good they are staying away from family events. Tell your parent the truth. With your brother present, they need to know. Your sister sounds like a narcissist that doesn't like to hear wrong about her or her husband, or he has manipulated her to believe him. Your sister should have heard about your side rather than spreading rumors about you. Don't apologize. The far she is from your life or family, the better for you and them. Wow. Groomed and nearly raped. Then blamed. Keep plenty of distance between you and your now creepy BIL. It's all a he said she said thing now, and nobody wins in one of those. But keep telling the truth as it is to defend yourself if it ever raises its head. Once a rapey cheater, always a rapey cheater. He's not going to change. I wouldn't worry about your sister. You don't need to speak with her if she's still with THST demon. She is a damn moron to believe that predator. Trust me, if he didn't already, he will cheat on her gaslighting ass. I'm sorry you experienced this and try to enjoy your life. Your sister will find out she married a monster the hard way. Don't ever let other PPL talk for you. You should have told her, not your brother. And of course this was coming. Women never see men as the problem. She will reach out once he cheats on her or make a move on one of her friends. If he did it with you, her sister, what makes her think he is not doing it with others? SMH. You could write her a letter and explain it to her. Tell her how hurt you are that she chose him over you, and that she has run your name through the dirt. She probably has refused to see you since she found out because she wants to stay in denial about it. Walk away. Tell everyone that when A cheats in the future and it is with a teen, do not come to you looking for sympathy. Go live a better life. Make no efforts to include people who believe AO are his flying monkeys. Story 2. My boyfriend forgot me at a party and left. My boyfriend and I've been together for 10 months and live together. We met 5 years ago at a restaurant we both worked at. Dated briefly, but he stood me up for my play I acted in the theater. Dodged me for 2 weeks and then acted like nothing happened. I didn't want to lose my job, so didn't make a fuss. Stopped working after a month or so. Just worked there for a trip, so it was not too long and awkward. It did sting a little though. Fast forward 5 years and we met again. He did all the big gestures to show me he changed and he regretted treating me that way. He would show me and would treat me like a princess. We got together and overall everything went smoothly. Then a couple months ago, around the time we moved in together, he started to behave dodgy. Was always home late, avoided conflicts and come home drunk and much later than told. He didn't help around the house, stringing me along that he would call back but never did. I do trust him, but it's getting harder with every time he doesn't respect the times he would tell me he'd be home. At one point I had enough. I left to stay with a friend for 4 days and he swore he'd change and loved me and would do anything to make it work. He did. Sometimes he relapsed a little about conflicts, but we spoke through it and it was all going really well. Until yesterday, we had a party with my friends. It was 80s themed, so we got the outfits, dressed up, had fun, talked about our relationship too and how well it was going. We take a cab there, everything is fine, and suddenly he's gone. Vanished. I called him, searched everywhere inside and out. It was cold, so I was worried he fell and maybe hit his head and was in the cold unconscious. I called him like a million times, got really upset cause I was scared something bad happened. I pieced the puzzle together with info of other guests. He was seen outside but no one knew where he was going. I was emotional, couldn't believe he would have left. I literally cried on the dance floor, so embarrassing. I finally called the cops in the early morning when I got home and he wasn't there. I asked to check for him in hospitals. They went to the party too to check so all my friends know he went missing. Not that I was good at hiding my concerns, so I think a lot knew and the police filled in the few who missed the drama. I feel like a fool bringing him. And suddenly, this insert any swear word is ringing the doorbell. He went missing at 11 p.m. and got at the door at 10:30 am. I saw before he got home that all our joint accounts, with only my money, were all drained but a good couple of €100s. I asked him where the hell he's been and he said he didn't know. Forgot the party and me because of the booze and woke up in a hotel in the city. No idea about the money, no phone anymore, lost it. Again, no clue where and when. I am livid. I think there's smoke coming out my ears right now. He has no excuse. How can you forget me? He was at the party for 2 hours and just left, didn't answer the phone, but 2 hours later he took the cash to his account, which had to be with the phone. I am humiliated, disrespected. He makes the same mistake over and over and just says 2 sentences and sorry. The sorry is useless. Who forgets the girlfriend? Where did you go? No fight prior him leaving or nothing. Took all my cash cause bastard didn't write over his part yet. The trust is totally gone and everything is broken now. I am so sad that he treated me this way. We talked about our future and saving money for a house. I did not deserve this at all. No unkind word or discussion. Finally, after 3 years single, I got to take a boyfriend to my friends and it was all tears, only me, and panic. People looking for him. He broke my heart and doesn't even have answers for me. Comment. Sorry this happened, but why on earth move in with someone and have joint bank accounts after only 10 months? That's insane. That's intense. Sorry to not have anything more poetic. Do you have the feeling that he's playing you? Because there were quite a signs at the start. I mean, I guess it's hot for the brain, turns heads in a spin. You deserve better. If you don't break up with him after this, I will judge you. You deserve so much better. By a lot. I'm sorry, it sounds like perhaps you are determined to maintain a relationship to say you were in a relationship. This guy showed you he didn't care and you gave him access to your finances. You watched him drain your bank account dry and you are looking for answers. All you're going to get are lies and more hurt. Forget answers, right? No, you need to pick yourself up. Maintain the self-respecting woman who is worth her boots and kick this loser out of your life. If you don't, you will be drained dry by him, all the while crawling and begging for attention. Maintaining a relationship to bring around friends doesn't mean anything when everyone knows it's toxic. If anything, it's worse.